Hello guys, and welcome to this brand new tutorial on Xamarin Forms. So the tutorials following now on will be the tutorials on Xamarin Forms, the basic layouts in Xamarin Forms, the page navigation, and how to make and deploy applications using Xamarin Forms for iOS and Android. So what is Xamarin Forms? Xamarin Forms, according to Microsoft, as you can see in this website, is Xamarin Forms is a cross-platform UI toolkit that allows developers to efficiently create a native user interface layouts that can be shared across iOS, Android, and universal Windows platform applications. So what does that mean? So as you can see in what happened in the old times was, let's not say the old times, but in traditional approach was you have to create a different applications for different platforms including iOS and Android. To make an Android app, you need an Android developer who can write Java or Kotlin, and then a different developer who can write Swift or Objective-C for iOS. So it was not an efficient way of creating applications, because what you need inside the application is basically same. You need to create one application for one company, but since there are two different ecosystems that are popular in mobile operating market, you need two different developers to accomplish the same job. So a big overhead for this was that you needed a developer. You needed two developers, hence you would have to pay for two developers who would develop on two different platforms. But the tools like Xamarin allows you to create a single application, code a single application, and then the application can be deployed to Android and iOS. So basic idea about Xamarin is code sharing between two platforms using a powerful language in C# and a native UI experience, and giving the user a native UI experience. Before this, in platforms like Cordova and PhoneGap, the thing was that there used to be a website that had to be rendered using a web view, so it was not very efficient at giving the users the native UI feel that they can get with Xamarin Forms and React Native also. So now moving into Xamarin Forms, what does this cross-platform UI toolkit indicate, and what does the native user interface means? So cross-platform cross-platform UI toolkit is simply it means that Xamarin provides you with necessary tools to develop for Android and iOS. Simple. And what does native user interface mean? The controls that you use in Xamarin Forms are translated directly into the controls that you can get on Android or on iOS. So if you move your application to, let's say, Android KitKat, then the feel will be exactly like it does in other applications in Android KitKat, using the entries and the buttons that we introduced in the Android KitKat time. Now if you deploy it to modern devices like the devices with Android Oreo and everything, then you will get a much better feel. You'll get that material design and everything inside Xamarin Forms, inside the application that you develop using Xamarin Forms. You'll also get the necessary animations if there are any. So it's very easy to get started with developing for Xamarin, and easy to deploy these applications for Android and iOS. So this is the basic intro into Xamarin. So if you want to install Xamarin, what you have to do is you have to go to this website. I'll put the link in the description below. You can also this website is xamarin.com, I think. Yeah, I'll put the links in the description below, and you can download either for Mac or for Windows, and you have to download the community edition, because the professional and enterprise editions are paid, whereas the community edition is not. So you can just download the community edition and you can get started with this. So if you see in this website, you can see that things like target all platforms. So what does this mean? This picture is also more illustrated in this picture, right? And the traditional, so there are two different approaches that Xamarin uses. So there is a Xamarin Forms approach, and there is the traditional Xamarin approach. So in this video, in this series, we'll be talking about the Xamarin Forms approach, and not the Xamarin approach, the traditional Xamarin approach. So what is the basic difference between these two? The Xamarin Forms, in the Xamarin approach, what you had was a C# backend, and then this C# backend would communicate with a different UI for iOS, a different UI for Android, and different UI written for UWP. So you still had to write different UIs for each platform, but while developing an app, it is not always necessarily the case. You might want to share the UI code too. So Xamarin Forms was introduced, and Xamarin Forms allows you to create a shared UI code that communicates with the C# backend using XAML, and then you can communicate using this tool with the native libraries as well. So what happens here is the shared UI code and the C# backend is translated directly into into the native iOS code, or into the native Android code, using tools like mTouch, which is for iOS, and similar tool for, I think, a JVM or something like that for Android. And the code need not be translated for deployment into Universal Windows Platform, because Universal Windows Platform uses C# and XAML as the native languages. So this is the main difference, as you can see, between the Xamarin Forms approach and the traditional Xamarin approach. Also, the big advantage here is, if you want to use applications that gives you the native feel, you can easily go Xamarin Forms, and it will give you more code sharing. Hence, in long run, you do not have to maintain two different code bases and different UIs, hence helping you in the long run. And thank you guys for watching this video. If you like the video, please leave a thumbs up. And a small thing that I forgot to mention, while installing Xamarin, please see this tutorial, visit this website, and there is a great tutorial on how to install Xamarin. If you do not understand this, let me know down in the comments below. I'll get back to you and show you how to install Visual Studio for Mac and for Windows also. So this is a great tutorial on how to install Xamarin and how to get started with it. In the later videos, I'll be discussing about how to make the basic UI for Xamarin, how to make a basic code, backend code for Xamarin, and I'll also talk about the different controls that we can use in Xamarin. So thank you guys for watching this video. To keep updated, subscribe to my channel and turn the notification icon on. This much for today. Have a nice day, guys. Thank you.